Coming up on SUTV, we'll let you know about the loss of the Shakespeare Festival founder.
And we'll talk about the Academy Awards results. Stay tuned.
Welcome to SUTV. I'm Brianna Aldridge.
And I'm Morgan Crookston.
Fred Adams, the founder of Southern Utah's Shakespeare Festival, passed away last Friday. He founded the festival in 1961, and it is known to be one of the most prestigious theaters in the nation. Since opening, it has received the Tony Award for Outstanding Regional Theater, an Emmy Award, and the Utah Best of State Award. Due to the popularity and rise of the Shakespeare Festival, it expanded from the Adams Memorial Shakespeare Theater to 3 larger theaters: the Randall Theater, the New Ingolstadt Theater, and the Eileen and Alan Ains Studio Theater. The 7'2" statue of Adams stands outside the festival gift shop. Numerous members of the community have left flowers in his honor. Utah Governor Gary Herbert said, "He truly was the visionary behind the Utah Shakespeare Festival. Fred was one of a kind, and he will be sorely missed."
Many students across campus are settling into their daily routines of balancing school, work, and their home life. However, many students at Southern Utah University don't fit the traditional description of a student. This group is known as non-traditional students. Non-traditional students range from the following criteria: above the age of 25, married, widowed, divorced, have dependent children, or those who have had more than a 3-year break from school. These additional challenges can be a source of struggles for this growing body of students on campus.
For me personally, getting here can be a problem because I have to deal with work, I have to deal with my home life, and it's a 45-minute commute.
Fortunately for students, there are resources available at the Non-Traditional Student Services Center located in the Sharwin-Smith Center on the campus of SUU. The center connects non-traditional students to resources on and off campus and offers amenities to help with their in-school experience. For more information, drop in or visit suu.edu/non-traditional.
The number of U.S. service members diagnosed with traumatic brain injuries has grown to more than 100 as more troops suffer from the aftereffects of the Iranian ballistic missile attack earlier last month in Iraq. According to NPR, the total now is 109, almost 10 times the number initially reported. Monday's edition is at least the 5th time the number of personnel injured during the attack has been updated.
Film fans around the world are celebrating after history is made Sunday night at the Oscars. The South Korean film Parasite won multiple awards throughout the night, including Best Picture, making it the first non-English language film to win in the show's 92-year history. Dolby Theater audience members rose to their feet in support of the Korean film team, as well as fans watching from home. However, not everyone was in support of the movie maker's success. Some, like Blaze writer John Miller, said that the film didn't deserve the award and called people like director Bong Joon-ho, quote, the destruction of America. Despite the comments like this, film critics rave that Parasite winning Best Picture can open the United States up to more foreign films and encourage more diversity and representation in Hollywood.
So how did you feel about Parasite winning?
I thought it was really great. The Academy actually gave the best film of the year, in my opinion, the Best Picture award. And I think it's a great day for world cinema. It exposes American audiences to a broader range of films. There's amazing films out in the world, and I hope that Western audiences, and Americans in particular, can really grasp onto subtitles. I mean, I put subtitles on things that are in English, so I'm excited to see what kind of impact this has.
Yeah, are you a big... Well, okay. Coming up, information on the student census.
And an update on the coronavirus outbreak.
Don't worry, 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, Time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
What do you think it would be like to teach? Chances are, you have no idea. Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, proving that greatness can be found in everyday places, and that you don't need to be famous to be unforgettable. That's what it's like to teach.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Preparations for the 2020 census are underway, and students need to be aware of how to be accurately counted. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, when responding to the 2020 census, college students need to be counted where they live and sleep most of the time as of April 1st, 2020. For students of Southern Utah University, they need to report if they live on campus, off campus in a private shared home, or apartment unless they live with their family in Cedar City. To ensure an accurate and complete census, the Bureau wants to make sure that students are aware and informed.
The death toll has surpassed 1,000 in the coronavirus outbreak. Yesterday alone, mainland China reported 108 deaths, the largest single-day death toll yet. Over 2,000 new cases have been reported in China, adding to the over 40,000 worldwide cases. At the epicenter of the outbreak, 2 provincial senior Chinese health officials were fired, according to Chinese state media. Hitting close to home, 2 St. George residents are quarantined on a cruise ship in Japan after 10 passengers were confirmed affected.
Thousands of people are reflecting on the magic of the film after attending the Sundance Film Festival in northern Utah. My co-anchor, Morgan Crookston, has the story.
Over 100,000 people convened in Park City in Salt Lake City this past week, January 23rd to February 2nd, to watch 118 feature-length films from 27 different countries. The permanent residents of Park City were vastly outnumbered as people famous and not filled the streets, all chattering about a film they had just seen or were just about to. We spoke to Judy Wally about her experience.
I come with my husband and my daughter and her husband, and we have a great time together. It's a great family experience, and we all love films, and there's no other place like Sundance. So,
the films shown were selected from a record high of 15,100 submissions, including 3,853 feature-length films. Many films included a Q&A with the director, actors, or producers afterwards who took questions from the audience and described many aspects of the film, such as their process or how they got involved with the production. As noted before, the festival featured films from 27 different countries, but the films shown at the festival weren't the only international aspect of the event. People came from all over the world just to experience it.
I'm from South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa, specifically for Sundance.
Are you loving it?
Absolutely, it's a fantastic place.
Amazing.
Thank you. If in the future would like to participate, next year's festival will take place from January 21st to the 31st. For those of you who are residents of Utah, the festival has special pricing, including ticket packages and $25 individual tickets. For SUTV News, reporting from the Sundance Film Festival, I'm Morgan Crookston.
So Morgan, how was your experience at the Sundance Film Festival?
It's always a great experience. I've done it probably 4 years in a row now. It's really great to be able to see new films, films that, you know, are just coming to the United States. I was able to see a documentary that had never been shown here. So that was an amazing experience, and I got to meet really cool people, people that are in the industry, journalists, and that kind of stuff. But I think it's a really amazing thing to have here in Utah, so I'm excited to do it more.
That's awesome. Alex, what do we have coming up in weather?
Southern Utah is recovering after winter storms this last week. Stay tuned to see if that winter weather will come back later on during this weekend. See you after the break.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to SUTV. I'm Alex Greenwell. Today here in Cedar City, the snow is starting to melt, and it's currently 34 degrees here. The high today is going to be 35 with a low of 15 later tonight. Sunrise was at 7:25 a.m. this morning, and sunset should be at 6:06. Tomorrow on Wednesday, we should see sunny skies with our high being at 42 and a low at 17. And then on Thursday, we should transition into sunny skies again with a high of 42 and a low of 24. Air quality is currently good here in Cedar City with humidity at 49%. However, with the wind here, it currently feels like 28. Moving on to the week forecast here in Cedar City, it should be sunny from Tuesday all the way to this weekend. At Saturday, we should see sunny skies with the temperatures going up from 35 today up to the mid and low 40s, and then to 51 degrees on Saturday being our high, with our low being 30 degrees. Then on Sunday and Monday, we should see cloudy skies with a high of 53 on Sunday with a low of 21, and a high of 37 degrees on Monday with a low of 15. Moving on to St. George, it is currently 52 degrees down in St. George, but it feels like 48 with that wind here in southern Utah. It's always going. High is 53 today in St. George and a low of 28. Sunrise was at 7:26 a.m. and sunset was at 6:09. Sunny skies today, and that sunny skies will continue on to Wednesday and Thursday down in St. George with a high of 57 degrees on Wednesday and a low of 28 on and then on Thursday, we should see a high of 57 and a low of 30. Air quality is currently moderate down in St. George, with humidity being at 21%. Moving on to the week forecast down in St. George, we have sunny skies from Tuesday to Saturday, with our temperature going from the mid to high 50s down to 60 and 62 on Friday and Saturday. Our lows are going to be from 28 to 35 degrees on Saturday, and then on Sunday and Monday we should see cloudy skies with our high of 62, low of 33 on Sunday, and a high of 53 and a low of 28 on Monday. Moving up to Bryan Head, we should see sunny skies still. It is 27 degrees down in Bryan Head right now, but it feels like 18, so make sure you're still bundled up if you're going down and visiting the slopes there today. Sunrise is at 7:24 a.m. today with sunset at 6:05. Our high today is 27 and our low is 1 degree. Moving on to Wednesday and Thursday, our high is at 24 and our low is 3 degrees. Our quality is really good. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks for the weather update, Alex.
Wow, well, I mean, at least it's warming up a little bit. It's still cold, but the sun's out, so I'm happy about that, because those winter storms last week were pretty crazy.
I know, and they were making the roads very dangerous to drive on, so I'm hoping the sun will just melt all that snow and it'll be a little safer to get around.
With all the snow, with how cold it gets at night, it really ices over, so everyone needs to be very, very careful with that.
Exactly. Yeah, at least, and this weekend's going to be a little warmer, so we're getting there. We're moving on.
You can always go up to St. George, too, if you want to get some warmer weather and some suns.
Yep, exactly.
Kurt, what do we have coming up next in sports?
You know, guys, this week for sports was super good, and the women's team is finally back home. So coming up, I'm going to have a preview for the games that are going on.
Thank you.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On
On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Thank you, dear. Well, you're very supple. Just like I was at your age. Back then, I was a sex expert. Used to call me the buttered biscuit. I know about birth control, too. So you can ask me anything, baby.
Bedsider.org has birth control information and a lot more. And it's...
Have you had sex in this car yet?
Toxic chemicals and carcinogens are leaching into the environment. It's happening right where we live, work, and play. Everywhere. Cigarette butts are toxic waste. Let's stop the toxic litter. Learn more at rethinkbutts.org.
On average, I spend 8 hours a week on the road. It's important to me to make the right choices when I drive. And she's the reason why I support MAD.
Welcome back to SUTV Sports. I'm Kurt Meekum. After falling to Northern Colorado on Thursday, the SU men's basketball team were looking to get back on track over the weekend at home against Portland State. The T-Birds took charge in the first half on the defensive end and were up 30-18 at the break. The offense found its rhythm in the second half, shooting 60% from the field. The T-Birds were also 8 of 13 from deep in the game, and were led by Cameron Oluyatin on the night with 24 points as SU took down the Vikings 85-57. For the third straight time, the T-Birds were able to bounce back from a Thursday night loss with a weekend win at home.
Just coming prepared. We do. Like I said, I think after the loss, we just come out mad and we tend to play like it. We just refuse to lose. So we just got to string these along. Like we saw on Thursday. We just got to come out mad.
You know, it was a good bounce back win. This group has shown all kinds of character and ability to bounce back from adversity. And today we really focused on defense. And that's got to be our calling card. And I think we saw that, and we put together a pretty good 40 minutes of it.
Now, the women's team will return to the AFEC this week to host Sac State and NAU. The team is coming off their first conference road sweep, something that hasn't been done in 7 years. The team beat UNC and Portland State to move to 6-6 in conference play, and the last time the T-Birds played Sac State and NAU, they unfortunately dropped both of those contests. Sac State is currently 5-8 in conference play, while NAU is sitting at 9-4. The T-Birds are 8-1 at home this season and are looking to protect their home court in 2 crucial conference games. With the top 5 teams in the conference receiving a bye in the conference tourney in March, the T-Birds are in a good position to try and move up in the standings. Now to the NBA, the Utah Jazz capped off a 3-game win streak with a road victory against the Dallas Mavericks, but the most exciting play from the trio of games came in the final seconds against the Houston Rockets. Bojan Bogdanovic hit the deep game-winning three-pointer in a thrilling buzzer beater to even the Jazz's record to 1-1 against Houston this season. Forward Joe Ingles inbounded the ball to his fellow forward with only 1.6 seconds on the clock, and Bogey delivered under pressure from 2 Rockets defenders. After only scoring 8 points on 1 of 6 from the field and a scoreless first half for the first time this season, Bogdanovic was watching most of the final plays from the bench. Jazz coach Quinn Snyder had confidence in Bogdanovic to take the crucial shot, which is his second game winner this season.
Take me inside your mindset on that final game-winning play.
I mean, first of all, I wasn't supposed to be on the court on the last play the way I played whole game, but that's the coaching staff. They believe in me. They gave me opportunity to shoot two-game winning shot. I stay confident. I know that I'm able to hit those shots, and on the end of the game, it's a very important W for us.
Great shot by Bogey, but let's turn our attention to football again. The SUU football program is looking to rebuild for the future after they landed 27 players on National Signing Day. The incoming batch of players will carry the burden of turning around a program that has gone 4-19 since winning a share of the Big Sky Conference championship in 2017. Here's a look at 3 incoming prospects who could have an impact on next season. 2 out-of-state skill position players stand out among the offensive signees. Queen Creek, Arizona native Rad Jensen was the first player to announce his commitment to SUU, and the 5'10" QB could contend for the starting job in the fall after starter Chris Helbig announced his decision to transfer to Eastern Michigan after last season. Now, Jensen threw for over 3,000 yards and 36 touchdowns his senior year at American Leadership Academy. He was named the 3A Offensive Player of the Year and led his team to a state championship. David Moore III from Colorado Springs, he finished his high school career with the 3rd most rushing yards in Colorado history with over 7,500 yards. His senior year, he found the end zone an absurd 36 times. Moore will contend for first-team snaps with Jay Green Jr. and Thomas Duckett and should help the T-Birds establish the ground game in 2020. On the defensive side of the ball, Heron High School standout Manu Kula Jr. should have an immediate impact on the defensive line. He finished his senior year with 77 tackles, 31.5 tackles for loss, and 20.5 sacks. SUU finished second to last in the conference in sacks last season, so he should have a chance to contribute right away. The T-Birds also added 6 offensive linemen to shore up things without All-American center Zach Larson, as well as 2 kickers after missing 12 of 18 field goals in 2019. Now, to pro football, the XFL 2020 officially kicked off over the weekend, but in a different sort of way. The new league has some different rules than regular football, including a rule that states all kickoffs must go beyond the 20-yard line. In the first week of action, ESPN reported that the 2 games aired on their networks averaged 2.9 million viewers, the same number of viewers that last year's first AAF game drew before their viewership went down the drain, ultimately leading to the league shutting down before the season was over. The league is led by several former college stars, including Cardell Jones, who helped the DC Defenders beat the Seattle Dragons 31-19, P.J. Walker, who helped the Houston Roughnecks demolish the L.A. Wildcats 37-17, Matt McGloin, who helped lead the New York Guardians to a 23-3 win over the Tampa Bay Vipers, and Matt Jones, who helped the St. Louis Battlehawks to a gritty 15-9 win over the Dallas Renegades. Chairman Vince McMahon restarted the league this year, 2 years after announcing the reformation of the 2001 XFL that only lasted for 1 season. However, the commissioner of the XFL, Oliver Lux, says that this league is very different than the league that folded after 1 season 20 years ago.
Oliver, how is this league different from the original XFL?
There's nothing that this league has in common with the original XFL. We've focused 100% on really good quality football, great coaches. You mentioned guys like Bob and Pep Hamilton and Mark Trestman. We think we've got the best 450 or so players who aren't under contract to another professional football league.
Thanks for the sports update, Kurt. When we come back, we'll hear about campus happenings with Caden.
And a look at the photography meetup in St. George. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Special Agent Diana Berrigan from the TV show White Collar. Did you know that it wasn't until 1972 that the first female earned an FBI Special Agent badge? Now, women are helping solve crimes around the world in faraway places like Sarajevo, New Delhi, Lagos, and Tbilisi. To all our women fighting crime at home and overseas, thank you for keeping us safe. Happy anniversary.
Thanks for the update, Caden. Brian Head Ski Resort saw a few changes during the 2019, including a change in ownership and a new ski lift at Navajo. During the 2019 off-season, chair number 4 on the Navajo side of the mountain was updated to a 4-person lift. Previously, Giant Steps had the resort's only express 4-person lift out of the total of 8 chairs. The new lift, which has brought an increase in traffic to the Navajo runs, is just a small portion of an ongoing $16.5 million capital improvement project since the resort was purchased by Brian Head president John Griesinger in 2012. On November 25, 2019, Brian Head announced it would be acquired by the resort collective Mountain Capital Partners, who now manage and operate the resort though MCP is initially observing the management style currently in place.
They haven't changed anything yet. They have said that they are watching this and see what the Brian Head way is, and then they're going to slowly integrate their workings and their way of doing things into it, and so they haven't done anything yet.
The Justice Department is revising its sentence for the former Trump campaign advisor. This change in sentencing for Roger Stone comes after he initially received 7 to 9 years for his felony convictions. This highly unusual move comes after President Trump tweeted about how the sentencing was unfair. Stone was found guilty of lying under oath, forging documents, threatening a witness, and more.
Photographers and models from around southern Utah met in the heart of St. George on Saturday, January 8th. Our reporter Alex Greenwell has the story.
Creative minds from around southern Utah gathered in St. George for a photography meetup led by organizer Addie LeDuc and her company, Southern Utah Curators.
The thing that made me want to start this is because I used to be a part of one that I was in northern Utah, and then I moved down here, and there were so many people who would reach out to me and ask if I wanted to do collaborations or models who would want to shoot with me. And there were so many ideas that I wanted to do, but I knew that they were kind of bigger than just myself. So what I wanted to do was reach out to those models and reach out to the photographers and just say, hey, let's do it together. Because it's so much better when we can work together than against each other. So that's kind of where I wanted to stand from, because there's so many photographers and so many models in Utah, and it's hard to even start or know where to begin or get a footing anywhere.
Many photographers and models alike came together and said that they enjoyed having a place where they could creatively work with other people and network. Additionally, it was a confidence booster for many of the people that attended the event.
Well, Southern Utah Curators always is appreciative of anybody who will come, models, photographers, anybody who's creative. Makeup artists are great too. We do monthly meetups, which is great. We do them all around. We try to do Southern Utah, so not just St. George. Sometimes we'll go closer to Vegas. Sometimes we'll go up to Cedar. We try to reach out. So if you're ever in the area, say give us a follow and try to check it out.
Reporting for SUTVNews, I'm Alex Greenwell.
Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for you. I'm Morgan Crookston.
I'm Alex Greenwell.
I'm Curtin Meekum.
And I'm Brianna Aldridge. Make sure to tune in Thursday for our Valentine's Day special.
Wow, we're ad-libbing. We're just talking about it. Yeah, we're talking about it. Wow, that worked out really well. I was surprised. Yeah, that worked really well. Thank you.
More clear.
It was good reading. We just had I feel like by everyone's parts, there was just a little bit of difficulties of whatever was